Good afternoon, everybody. We are really pleased to welcome you to our Glion Live Open Day, hosted by Mrs. Georgette Davey, Managing Director at the Glion Institute of Higher Education. Please feel free to interact with us using the chat box. We'll answer all of your questions at the end of the presentation. Enjoy!
Thank you, Ruben. A really warm welcome and great to see you all joining us this afternoon. And I'd like to ask my co-presenter to introduce herself to all of us.
Hello everyone, my name is Deepthi Malik and I'm from India. I'm a second semester master's student pursuing my master's in hospitality, entrepreneurship and innovation.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Deepthi, for joining us this afternoon.
It's my pleasure to be here with you.
So we'd like to share some information with you. And first off, let's start looking at the hospitality industry. Well, hospitality is changing. Hospitality, traditionally, hotels, travel, tourism, restaurants, events, and theme parks. But while these are the traditions of our industry and where they lie, as things start to change, hospitality does too. Through the experience industry, consumer expectations changing and people wanting more from us and from the hospitality industry. So whether it's luxury retail, finance, international events, motorsports, entertainment, the hospitality and service industries and experience industries are there to provide opportunities for you in the world of hospitality. But also, why Glion? Well, Glion's different, and why is it different? Well, let's take ourselves back in history. And if we take ourselves back in history, we know that at the point of the Grand Tour, more and more people were starting to travel through Europe. And as people started to travel through Europe, they wanted places to stay. They wanted places to stay where there were professional people to look after them. So Swiss hospitality and the first ever hotel school opened in 1893 here in Switzerland. So it really is the birthplace of the hotel management school. It's the home of hospitality. And that's down to the precision, the quality, and the attention to detail. But Deepthi, what made you travel all that way from India to come and study here in Switzerland?
What made me travel from India to come to Switzerland is because, it has become a well-established fact that Switzerland is the hub for hospitality education. And Glion for me was a very obvious choice because of the course which it offers, which I'm very much interested in, that is hospitality combined with entrepreneurship and innovation. That made me choose Glion.
Perfect. So the history of Glion, where did we start? Where are we today? Well, further to the Grand Tour and then moving into mass tourism. It was in the 1960s that the world saw travel as being a perfectly legitimate thing, and again, with lots of people doing it. More people traveling, then more people wanting professionals to look after them and experts. So it was actually in 1962 that our hotel school here at Glion opened its doors. And it opened its doors to the building that Deepthi and I are standing in right at this moment. And it started with 15 students from 5 different countries. Just 1 year later, there were 89 students that were enrolled that came from nearly over 25 nationalities. So the scene was set from 1963 for us to become a truly international hotel school. By the time we got to 1989, the school that we're standing in now, we'd moved as far across the mountain as we could, down the mountain as we could, and up the mountain as we could, and our student numbers exceeded the room and space that we had available. So that's when we opened our campus up in Buhl. So 1989, when we opened the campus up in Buhl, just 35 minutes away from where we are here in Glion. In 2013, we became the only private Swiss hotel school to have a campus in the United Kingdom and also in London. So we opened our campus in London in 2013. In 2017, we became part of the Somme Education Group, and in 2019, Ducasse joined the group. So now, as three sisters, we work together and we really enjoy that opportunity of working with our colleagues in Somme Education. So experiencing excellence is always important. And Dipti, we know we're a small boutique hotel, but was that part of your decision making? The fact that it was smaller, or would you have?
Yeah, actually, there are so many reasons behind choosing this place, Glion, but definitely that the small community that we have here was one of the prime reason, because the size of the class we have is pretty small. We're 12 of us, so which is as good as having personal education. We get to interact with our professors and lecturers really closely, and then we, as a class, also have a very close-knit group, and which helps in creating a bond on one-to-one level. So that was precisely the reason, one of the main reasons.
Fantastic. So again, you're learning from the best.
Exactly, the best.
So accreditation is really important to us as a school. And here at Glion, we're actually accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Education. And other schools that are accredited are Yale, Harvard, and MIT. Our school in London is also part of the QAA reviewed and therefore is quality assured. And that quality of our education and accreditation is critical to our students and critical to us as an organization. Also, the way that we are ranked around the world. And you've heard about Glion, obviously, from when you were back home.
Yes, exactly. It's very well known in India as in other countries in the world. And so the best part about Glion is that there were many schools we heard of in India, but why I chose Glion, because the first part, as I've already mentioned, that it's a small community and which gives access to large network of alumni and MNCs working, and moreover it had the course which I was very much interested, because I see myself as an entrepreneur, and this was the right course for me because I want to pursue something in the hospitality sector. So yeah.
Fantastic. So ranking, we are ranked number 3 around the world as far as hospitality and leisure management is concerned, but also number 3 as far as employer reputation. And employer reputation is critical to our students to ensure that as they finish their programs of study, they can take that step into careers where employers recognize the qualification that they're bringing with them. So Glion, it's one school, but it actually operates in 2 countries with 3 campuses. And Dipti, you're studying here on the Glion campus. Would you just like to introduce our guests today to our Glion campus?
So, like, to begin the introduction of this Glion campus, I would start with the undoubtedly the most amazing and stunning view we have overlooking Lake Geneva. And the other part of the campus life is the immense diversity it offers. We have people coming from different cultural background, and I really like the facilities we have in terms of gymnasium and the fitness center, and I also like the options we have in terms of F&B outlet, which gives us the option to choose from comfort food to healthy and organic food and to the food coming from live kitchen, so which is like amazing. And the classrooms are great in terms of like small size of the group, but with the live state-of-the-art technology with which we come to know about different things, so which is great.
Fantastic. So that's our Glion campus. And our Bulle campus, just 35 minutes away from where we are here in Montreux. And Bulle campus is more of a university-style setting. This is where our students from our bachelor's and also one of our other master's programs, that is where they study. So again, situated in the market town of Bulle, easy access to facilities, but also with that range of food and beverage outlets on the campuses and all of the support services the teams will need. And lastly, an introduction to our London campus. And you can see the image here. That's Downshire House, which is part of the estate of University of Roehampton. So our students study in a dedicated facility on our London campus, and it's based in southwest London. So students have got easy access to the city, but again, small classrooms and again, faculty there to be able to support them with their study. So our students really do learn from the best, whether it's Dr. Barbara Miller, our academic dean, or also the experts that bring their knowledge and understanding of such the diverse areas of expertise. And within this, you've studied now for nearly 2 semesters. What's been your favorite subject and why?
Okay. To choose one favorite subject is quite tough because there are so many different subjects teaching different things. But if I have to choose, I'll say my favorite subject would be hospitality operations because it taught me so much of useful things in the operational side of the hotels. And I do not come from hospitality background academically. And one of the amazing part was that it was taught by Mr. Eric Mambello, he's one of the finest professor we had. So it was really nice. And another course I would like to mention is digital technologies and big data management, wherein I learned so many cool things in terms of creating a virtual reality app and building WordPress websites and scraping data and blockchain. So it was really cool and insightful.
Excellent. So again, you really do feel you're learning from the best.
Exactly.
So let's look at our academics in figures. When we talk about our academics here at Glion, we've got over 74 faculty members and practical arts instructors. But as with all academic institutions, we like to look at things in many different ways. And we know that the expertise that is here for our students every week and every day is of people who've both got an industry background and also an academic background. And if we look at the number of years across all of our faculty and we calculate them, it comes to an astounding 1,576 years of experience that are in front of our students every day. But what about our students then? And you mentioned this earlier on, Deepti, being part of that truly international setting. And obviously you're in a classroom and there's diversity just within your group, correct?
Yes, exactly. In our class only, if I emphasize, we are 12 of us and we come from 10 different nationalities, which is really amazing. And on the campus, outside my classroom, I have the opportunity to meet people coming from different nationalities and cultural background, which gives me an opportunity to actually travel to those places, to know more about those places without physically being there. And it also has a very important added advantage that it gives me an opportunity to learn different languages, and I can also practice it with my friends. So it's really great.
That's fantastic. So lots of different skills that you've learned by interacting in that setting. So with over 1,600 students, and again, she's given us an example, but in the average, our students have over 22 nationalities in a class. What better way to become a global citizen for the future? So we have 4 Glion specialised master's degrees, and thanks to Deepti, we've been introduced to just one of those. Set yourselves apart with our master's degrees, gaining that unrivaled knowledge and being highly marketable in the future as you fulfill that journey. And also to meet and connect with the industry. And Deepti, in your time, you've had opportunities to meet with industry professionals on the campus?
Yeah, exactly. So in addition to our professors coming from different industry background, we had the opportunity to meet one of the finest in the industry leaders in terms of hospitality and retail and luxury sector when we went for a field trip, and we actually got the chance to meet them and build connections with them. And I would also like to add that Glion Connect, which was an online career event, we interacted with the industry leaders coming from hospitality and retail and luxury sector. So yeah, there's always an opportunity to meet with so many people.
Really gave you an insight and opportunity to speak with people.
Yes.
So studying intensive courses and also getting into those 5-star. And you've been on a field trip, correct?
Yes, exactly. So it was really nice. We went to almost 30 companies we visited in a span of 4 days. and ranging from startups to five-star hospitality chains to one of the most famous well-known glamping site in the Valley Canton, which was really nice, the white pods. And we met someone from the jet industry as well. So it was like really holistic experience, giving us insights into different industry. So we got to learn a lot.
That's great. Well, thank you for bringing that to us. So we've got our MSc in International Hospitality Business, and that's delivered on our Buhl campus and also on our London campus. So this is to support students going into that five-star hospitality and students who maybe are changing their careers. There's also the MSc in Luxury Management and Guest Experience, delivered on our Glion Campus, and that's where we are here today. There's also our MSc, which you've given us a great insight to, thanks Steve T. That's on our Glion Campus. And lastly, our MSc in Real Estate Finance and Hotel Development, which is over on our London campus. So we know you're going to hear much more about those programs in more detail.
Hello, so I'm Mr. Josenko, I'm the Director of Graduate Studies, and it's my pleasure to introduce Eric Mabilon, which is a program coordinator that will introduce the Master in International Hospitality Business. Eric, the floor is yours.
All right, so as mentioned by Dr. Josenko, my name is Eric Mabilon, I'm French, nobody's perfect. I've been working here in Glion for 24 years now. And at the moment, I'm a team member of the coordination team. And under guidance of our manager, my responsibility here, together with my colleague, is to make sure that the daily academic journey of our students is going as well as it can go. My background, just like many of my colleagues, is the hospitality. And I worked in Switzerland, in the UK, and in Spain mainly, in hotels as a front office manager. So today I have the privilege to be co-assisted, to co-present those few slides with Glion, who is a student in our program currently. And Glion basically has two objectives. Objective number one is to share her experience with you, and objective number two is to make sure that what I'm saying is correct. Now, the Masters in International Hospitality Business, in terms of its structure, it's 2 semesters of studies, 2 academic semesters on our Glion campus, as you were informed about earlier on, and 1 semester which is an internship, and in addition to this internship, a research project. Before that, as you can see on the slide, you have the HIP, which is the Hospitality Immersion Program. Basically, we have 2 main profiles among our students. We have the career changers, in other words, people who want to give a new face to their professional career. People who most probably studied or worked in domains that have not much to do directly with the hospitality industry. Those ones are usually interested by the Hospitality Immersion Program, 4 weeks, 1 week about wine knowledge, 1 week in kitchen, 1 week in service, and 1 week in front office and housekeeping. We advise these students, the career changers, to take this Hospitality Immersion Program because it's a nice way to sort of step in the hospitality family. This program is optional because we have another profile of students who are the career changers. In other words, the career developers, sorry. In other words, people who already have a background in the hospitality industry, who studied hospitality, who may have worked in hospitality, and who want to develop their knowledge, to develop their competencies at master's level. Then we have our 2 semesters of studies with academic courses that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And then we have a last semester, which is the internship. And during this internship, our students are also working on a research project. We are going to go into details on the next slide. So the program details. I do not want to explain to you each course included in the program. What I would like here to point out at this stage is that you have a progression between semester 1 and semester 2. I'm just going to give you some examples. Managerial accounting in semester 1, corporate finance in semester 2, human resources course in semester 1, and the leadership in intercultural environment in semester 2. And we have a project management methods course in semester 1 and a business research method course in semester 2. These 2 courses have a more, how can I say, a more academic profile, because here students are given the tools to work on their research project. Talking about research project, Lauriane, what are you working on at the moment? What is your research project about?
So I choose revenue management. Because it's the last project that we're going to hand in, and because it's quite a long project, we all aim to work on something we really like. So I choose revenue management. I'm working exactly on the way to implement revenue management into the hotel industry. So regarding many variables such as the size of the hotel, for example, the type of the hotel, whether it is a company hotel or whether it is a individual hotel, for example. So yeah, that kind of
Okay, very interesting indeed. And you are guided during this research. I mean, you're not on your own.
Exactly. So we were first guided through the method of the project last semester. In semester 2, we had a class dedicated to this. So the project method. And through this course, they basically explained the challenges that we're going to face on the 3rd semester through the realization of this project. Now, we have a tutor as well, to who we end in drafts at the end of each month for a few months now. And we have a one-to-one meeting with the tutor to explain how to go beyond the expectation for this work. So we were well prepared before, and now we're well supported through the project.
All right, thank you very much for sharing this with us. In the previous slide, it was also mentioned that we are going on to a field trip, and this is taking place either on semester 1 or on semester 2. It depends on the organization. We went on to a field trip at the start of this year. I was there, but I think it's very important that you share with the audience about your experience as a student, because after all, this is for you. It's not a holiday, it has academic objectives. It's again research, it's meeting professionals. So how did it go for you?
So the field trip first, I'd like to say that it was an amazing week, thanks to Mr. Mabilon and the rest of the program coordinators. Yeah, that was an amazing week for all of us. Humanly speaking, but also academically speaking, because we went around the Mediterranean on a Grandiosa MSC cruise. So that was a new launched ship around the Mediterranean. We went to locations such as Italy, Spain, went to Malta as well. And in each location, we had met some amazing professionals. For example, in Malta, we went to the Intercontinental Hotel, and we met one of the Glion alumnus. And he spoke about his job, the challenges of the hotel, etc.
Right, excellent. And also during the trip itself, there was one full day at sea, and we took this opportunity to meet the director of the cruise. A cruise ship is full part of hospitality, and a cruise ship is a hotel. So it was indeed very interesting, I guess, for you to know how things are working.
It was very interesting indeed to meet this very nice gentleman. He was very busy, but he took a few hours for us to explain his job, his daily challenges as well, because when you work on a cruise, obviously it's hospitality, but it's not the exact same as an hotel. You're there 24/7. You live on the ship, so it's a very particular aspect and way to work. So he was here to explain to us his challenges and his daily life.
Good, excellent. Thank you very much, Lorian, for sharing this with us. And as shown on the slides, we went to different very interesting locations. And in each location, we were meeting professionals because it's part of our objective, all right? The fact that students are meeting on a regular basis professionals, the fact that they have this valuable link between the industry and what we are teaching, what we are covering. This is a very important tool for us. Thank you very much for sharing your impressions with us, Lorian.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Eric. So as was mentioned before, so at Glion we have a portfolio of 4 different MEC programs. So we were talking about the first one, which is about international hospitality business. Now we will talk about a second program, which is a Master in Luxury Management and Guest Experience. And we have the pleasure to have one student that already completed this program, which is Sébastien. So thank you, Sébastien. Before we got this interaction, just want to mention that this program is managed by Dr. Nicoletta Giusti, which is the program director of this program. So Nicoletta got more than 20 years of experience, academic experience, but she's also coming from fashion family business. And this is one characteristic of Glion program. That means what is very important for us is this balance between academic rigor and the practitioner aspect. So we respect to the structure. So the structure of this MEC, like the other program, it's always the same structure. So basically, each of our MEC program, the duration is about 1.5 years, split with respect to 2 semesters of academic studies and internship, 6 months of internship or possibility to do a business research report. And again, there is a possibility to start before with a HIP program, immersion, hospitality immersion program, and there is 1 field trip. But with respect to now the structure, the structure, and again, I won't go in deeper into detail, there is first, we start with this program to give a background about the economics of the luxury sectors, because this program has been devised, in fact, for students or young professionals that want to venture an international career in hospitality sectors. Could be hospitality luxury, could be luxury retail, could be fashion luxury. So first, what are the economics? Then what is very important is to understand the marketing, in fact, and the importance of the brand management. Then in second semester, there is a topic which is about the new trends. So as any sector, there is a change of the business model. And for instance, nowadays, people start just to rent a luxury bag and don't want anymore to own it. There is also sustainability, which is very important. There is also blockchain. So this is new topics which are covered in this program. And then there is what is going on with respect to the luxury sectors, with respect to the merger and acquisition, and any kind of strategy. Sébastien, let's have a talk. So first, could you rapidly introduce yourself? What is your background? And what is important is, well, why did you choose this program? Why did you choose Glion? Why did you choose this luxury program?
Of course, so first of all, thank you very much for having me. Shortly about myself, I'm from Czech Republic. I was born in Italy. I actually started to work in hotels before I started studying them. So after completing my bachelor degree, I searched briefly where should I go. So the obvious choice, as has been already previously said, was to go into Switzerland. Why Glion? It's kind of a first impression moment that this amazing school gives to you, that since I stepped in, I just felt that I belong into the school. Then deeper going into all its programs, then the research that I've done is I found that luxury management would be something that I would be passionate about and that would really drag me into it.
So what did you learn during this journey?
I learned many things. I learned that, first of all, to work with other nationalities. There are so many nationalities here. We have been able to communicate, to kind of resolve problems that there were in communication. Then, of course, work under pressure and work with details that we can find on the internet and on the library, and then produce something that can be actually useful for the industry.
And so this journey, you had a lot of courses. It's block teaching with respect to luxury program, pretty intense. With respect to all the courses that you get, what were the one that you really, really loved? That means the one that really
so
you wanted to talk about? And also perhaps if you can talk, about also your lecturers, right?
Of course, that's actually good that you were mentioning the lectures, because here in Glion, I know that this will sound a little bit cringy, but there are teachers who teach, there are teachers who preach, but here in Glion, there are teachers who inspire. And one of those teachers was Frank Schützendorf, and he taught us a way of looking at things which was completely different than from what I have experienced so far in other schools. We had him for 2 courses actually, and those were my most favorite ones.
Okay, thank you. So there is something we already mentioned, and this is one feature of all our MSc program, the so-called field trip. So as Eric was mentioned, because the objective is academic, the objective is for you guys, in fact, to be confronted with respect to the industry, with this meeting professional, meeting, in fact, corporation. And here, in fact, there is the field trip which have been already organized. So I think it's better that you explain and you share your experience in this Paris-Reims field trip that you experience.
Absolutely. So all the pictures you can see, yes, we've been there. We've been in Louis Vuitton, where we had HR managers coming to us, and we had a 2-hour workshop only with them. We went to Vive Clicquot in Remy, which was, again, an amazing experience. We got to taste the wines. We got to lecture about the wines and so on. Very nice.
Nice experience, I guess, yeah.
But and as well, we went to Baccarat, which you can see on the left lower side, where we met with our program grandmother, actually. So grandmothers and grandfathers for the master degrees are kind of patrons that lead you through and inspire you. So we had that face-to-face meeting with real worldwide companies. And again, what was a bit interesting about this field trip, what was a bit specific, was that to understand luxury, we had to experience all its sites. So we went to Fondation Louis Vuitton, for example, to the museum, which is in Paris, and to understand how art as well works in luxury environments.
And I think you met the CEO of Baccarat, or at
yes,
least the management, so it was very obviously interesting for you and give some opportunities in terms of internship or job opportunities, which is also one objective of this field trip, which is not only to confront yourself to the reality, but also to connect with industries.
Absolutely. The CEO of Baccarat was actually our grandmother, so we were absolutely inspired by her speech. I think it was for 2 hours we were there. It was so interesting meeting her in person.
Okay, thank you very much, Sebastian. Thank you for this deep dive in the luxury program. So now I'm passing, in fact, to the third MSc program that we have at Glion. So we talk about the Hospitality International Business Program. We talk about the Luxury Management and Guest Experience. Third program that we got at Glion is the Master in Hospitality Entrepreneurship and Innovation. So this program is managed, in fact, by Marie-France Dedarian. So Marie-France, in fact, got more than 16 years of academic experience, but more than 20 years of professional experience. She used to work, in fact, in consultancy. And this program is about innovation. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about starting your business, disrupting the existing businesses. And here again, so structure is the same. So 1.5 years, 2 academic semesters, possibility to do either an internship or a business research method. I won't spend too much time on that. You have also, in fact, one element which is the field trip in a European city, and the second element which is a so-called innovation fair, and perhaps we will have the possibility with Dipti, which is an actual student which is in the second semester of this MSc to talk. Again, and I'm sure that Dipti will present that better than myself, but the structure and first we start, Marie-France have structured, designed this program. This is a program which is basically aiming to students or young professionals that want to create their own business, that want to disrupt existing business. It's also for young professionals, for instance, that are coming from a family business and perhaps want to upscale it, surfing on the new business model, new technologies. And the way it is designed is we start, in fact, basically by talking about the hospitality sector, the new trends, and then we go to an idea. That means how, in fact, to start with a new business idea and how to go from the idea to a business model and to the business model to a real business. In the second semester, there is a very high important component which is dedicated to the digital aspect, to the new technologies. I think that you're already coding, so the objective is not that you're quant and coder, but that you understand the people that you will hire for your business. And there is also an aspect which is basically, okay, I have a business, but I need a business angel. I have my startup. I need to fund it, and there are some courses which are related, in fact, to this very important financial aspect. There is an innovation fair. We'll talk about that. And there is also a field trip. I know also that Marie-France is very active. She got already a partnership with Free Up. And so we'll have the possibility also to talk about this element. So, same question, Dipti. So first, thanks for coming. Well, if you can introduce rapidly yourself, and question is the same. So why did you choose Glion, and why did you choose this master in hospitality, entrepreneurship, and innovation?
Hello, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank you for having me here. And my name is Deepti Malik, and I'm from India. And currently, I'm a second semester master's student pursuing my master's in hospitality, entrepreneurship, and innovation. And to your question as to why I chose Glion is because I've already mentioned that Switzerland is the hub for hospitality education, undoubtedly. And Glion, for me, was an obvious choice because of the peculiar course they were offering, which was a mix of both hospitality and entrepreneurship. And I was keenly interested into it. And the reason behind choosing the master's in hospitality, innovation, and entrepreneurship is because I come from a hospitality background. My family business is in hospitality sector. And when I was working in the family business, I developed genuine interest in the sector, and I wanted to learn more about it and experience it. And the other reason is that I see myself as an entrepreneur, and I want to have a venture, particularly in the food and beverage industry, so which made me choose this program. This was the right fit for me, I felt.
So what did you learn?
Oh, I've learned so many things. So currently I'm in my second semester. The first semester was more about creating value for our startup. And the second semester was developing that, the value that we created in the first semester and scaling that project in order to make it more profitable and to take it to the market. In terms of, we started talking about the fundamentals of the hospitality sector, moving on to the hospitality operations, and then we learned about the revenue management, how to raise finance from the market, as you mentioned, that people want to have hedged their risk in terms of raising money from different venture capitalists and fundraising institutions. So yeah, it's a holistic process. We've learned a lot.
So can you talk about the courses? Can you talk about the lecturers? Where are they coming from?
Okay, so the diversity here is not only in terms of the students coming from different nationalities. It means it also applies to the professors and the lecturers coming from different backgrounds, from cultural backgrounds and industrial. They have immense industrial experience, and some of them, they have found up their own startups. Some have experience in the hospitality sector. And for me, two of my favorite courses, the first one would be the hospitality operations.
Thank
because
you.
Yes, because
So it was not prepared, right?
no, it was not
was
prepared at all, you know, not at all. Because academically, I don't come from hospitality background, so I wanted to learn about the operational side. And the best part was that it was taught by one of the finest, Mr. Eric Mabillon. Although the course was very intensive, but he always blended with his peculiar sense of humor, which was really fun, which balanced it out. And the second course, which I really enjoyed, was the digital technologies and big data analysis, wherein we learned a lot of cool things in terms of creating virtual reality apps and building WordPress websites, workings of blockchain technology and web scraping from data. We read about it and actually we learned about it, so yeah.
Super cool. So what about the innovation fair?
So Innovation Fair, we have this Innovation Fair in the last week of November, and we are currently working on it. And so we had to kind of pivot from the initial planned Innovation Fair, which was supposed to be a physical online one-to-one event. But now we have decided to make it a remote event, wherein we are thinking of inviting students remotely from different schools in Switzerland and having a pitch battle wherein students will come up with their own business ideas and pitch against each other. And the winner has a lot of things to win, including working at one of the incubators we might have partnership with.
Thank you, Dipti. And well, to finish on the presentation, so for this program, there is also one field trip. So here you got a highlight about the field trip which have been delivered in 2020. So it was a mix in 1 week, going in Berlin and going in Paris. So there were, for instance, a visit at Delivery Hero, which is a food company. There were also N26, which is an online bank, Akram restaurant in Paris. Also went to Airbnb and went also to Station F. So a very, very intense program, but great program spread out between Berlin and Paris. So thank you, Dipti, and I'm presenting now the last but not least program. The first program that have been presented is delivered both in Switzerland and in London. The luxury and the entrepreneurship that I presented just before are delivered, in fact, in Glion Campus, 2 intakes possible, spring and autumn. And the last one is the so-called Master in Real Estate Finance and Hotel Development, which is delivered in London. And you got only 1 intake, which is in autumn. Okay, so same structure. You got 1 year and a half, 2 academic semester. Here, this program have been designed for students or young professionals, in fact, that want to pursue an international career in what we call brokerage or consulting real estate company. So it's really focused on the real estate investment side. Could be in hospitality group, but it's larger. You can work, in fact, in a general like CBRE consulting firm, advisory firm, or you can work also for real estate funds. The structure of the program is the following one. So, so effectively you got, again, a business field trip. The previous one was delivered in Amsterdam. There is also a real estate competition challenge where students have the possibility, in fact, to work on investment strategy and to present that in front of professionals. So, as usual, we got 2 academic semesters. In the first academic semester, the objective is to present, in fact, what we call a real asset. So we focus on what we know here. It's hotels, but we just use that as a case study. So here you will understand how you can manage a real asset, talking about asset management, talking about real estate development. And then we are moving in a second part, which is dedicated on real estate investment. It's a 360 overview about real estate investment. So it starts by how do you value a real estate? Could be an hotel, but could be a data center, you name it. Then how, once you know how to price it, what is a traditional process when you're buying, that means which is a due diligence. Talking about also the different way to invest, because you can basically buy a real estate directly or indirectly. And we finish the program on the finance pure side, where the question is how you fund it. So you can obviously fund it usually by debt, but there is also the private equity component. One characteristics of this program is you have on the top of the field trip and on the top of the challenge, you have also more than 4 professional certifications. So students that who have this program will finish with 2 STR level certification. They will have also specific real estate certification. They will have an Argus certification. They will have an HVS real estate valuation certificate, and they will have a Bloomberg Capital certificate. So it's a plus on your curriculum. So now, obviously, you have a possibility to do, so you have the real estate challenge. So as I mentioned, students are working in group. They start at the start of the program, and they prepare during their journey, so that at the end, they will present in front of professionals, in fact, some strategy of investment. There is also a field trip, and here is an illustration of the field trip that was delivered in the previous intake. It was in Amsterdam. So students had the possibility, in fact, to visit INREV, which is a professional association of investment related to real estate. They had the possibility, in fact, to visit the headquarters of CBRE. CBRE organized for us a game, in fact, an investment game. And at the end of the game, the nice story is that they picked one of our students that got not an internship, but a full job offer. But it was very, very competitive. And then there was Heineken that was more social. And there are also the visit of the PropTech, which is the association of high-tech real estate investment. And there were also a visit of an hotel, which is very, very innovative. And we had the possibility also to meet, in fact, one partner of Citizen M. So it was a great experience for our students. Again, objective of this field trip is to meet professionals and, well, opportunity to find internship or to find jobs. I'm done, and now I will let the Careers Internship present the incredible internship and career preparation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this part of the presentation where we're going to look at our internships and career, and I'm delighted to have back with us a Deepti who by now needs absolutely no presentation whatsoever because you've already spoken a lot. Just let's remind us, you are in which master program?
So I'm in hospitality, entrepreneurship and innovation.
Right, and you're in your second semester.
Yes.
So that means you're going to graduate in
December itself.
December.
Yes.
And what is in store for you when you finish?
So I'll be finishing my graduation, the academic part of the graduation in December itself. And from January onwards, I'm going to do my internship. And if you want, I can explain where I am planning to do my internship.
Well, why don't you do that straight away?
Yeah, so one of our professor, Mr. Andre Delfontaine, he actually offered me an internship opportunity to work with him in one of his startups based in Switzerland itself, in Lausanne. So I'm pretty much excited because it will give me an experience of hands-on learning. And I myself want to have my own venture, so it'll be a learning experience for me.
And it's great that you have the student B permit, which allows you to actually do that internship experience here in Switzerland,
yes,
which is amazing. Okay, so let's talk about our internship team. So we currently have 7 members in the team, and one of those members, one of our most experienced members in the team, is actually dedicated specially to guiding our master students. So she is based in Switzerland, but she is equally taking care of students on both our Swiss campuses and our London campus. And what is she doing with these students? Well, she will be guiding them very, very individually. These students, as you will have gathered from previous my colleagues' presentations, they are coming from very diverse backgrounds. They have very diverse skills and competencies. Some of them have already pursued a career in other sectors. Some of them have some hospitality background. Some of them have no hospitality background. So really, it's a very individual and personal approach with each student individually. So the careers counsellor will be helping, first of all, the students to produce really polished professional CVs and flawless motivation letters. And she will also be helping them to guiding them into how to conduct the most efficient and effective job interviews with professional recruiters from around the world in order to secure those very precious internship positions and job positions. One of the ways that we find these positions is via our career and internship portal. So this is a unique platform dedicated for all our students, both bachelor and masters. And it's a 3-interface portal. So we have recruiters, the school, and of course the students. It serves as a repository for all the CVs of the students and all the CVs before they are allowed to be uploaded onto the portal. They are checked by our team in order to make sure they are completely as perfect as they can be. We also have full contact details of all our recruiters, all our business professional contacts, and this is also where those contacts will be posting their job and their internship offers for the intention of our students. Our students are able to do a wide range of different internships. So as master students, they can do operational if they have no operational background already, or they can do something more in line with the specific masters they are doing, so finance, luxury, or entrepreneurship, which is exactly what Deepti is going to do. Tell us a little bit more about your experience with our portal and with our team.
So actually, the thing is that I really like this portal. It's very useful, and the best part is that it's like 24/7, 365 days assistance we have at our own end. And so whenever I have contacted Astrid multiple times in terms of getting my CV approved, in terms of writing a flawless.
And she's very patient, right?
She is very patient. And she's always there to answer all your questions, no matter how many you bombard with her questions, and she always answers them on time. And the app I find is very user-friendly, and the best part is that it actually helps us to connect to the international recruiters and directly with their HR team or the talent hunting team. So it cuts down the time it takes to actually apply for jobs. So it cuts down different levels. So it's like a really helpful to connect with the different companies.
It helps you to cut out that sector where you're applying online.
Exactly.
You have direct contact with those recruiters,
Yes.
and obviously we have great relationships with many recruiters in the hospitality and other industries.
Yeah.
So let's look at a few internship facts. So these figures relate to 2019, where you can see we had 876 students on internship in 58 different countries. So these students, this covers both our master's and our bachelor programs. We had during that year over 6,700 offers on the portal, which is we've just mentioned, which works out at 7.7 offers per student per semester. And I think you can see also that our students are scattered throughout the world in our internships. We see the percentage of the different geographical regions there, and the total that they were actually in 58 different countries. So really, really international for our students. The interesting figure on this, well, they're all interesting. One of the interesting figures is the 250 plus company visits onto our campus. So these are companies that are coming onto campus to recruit, to network, to meet with our students. Many of them are present at our recruitment days, which take place twice a year. And in fact, we've just had our very first online event. Our online recruitment day was called Glion Connect and Recruit. And that took place this week. Earlier this week, we had 80 companies present. Perhaps, Deepti, you can tell us a little about your experience on that day.
So to be honest, initially it was overwhelming, thinking that, okay, we have to coordinate with so many companies, but eventually we found out that it's amazing opportunity to connect with industry leaders and experts coming from different fields. So we actually had an option to meet with the CEOs and talent managers and the recruiters from companies like hospitality sector, from five-star hotels to lifestyle hotels and the luxury to retail. And it was very interesting. And I had almost video chat with more than 30 companies, which was...
More than 30 companies?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was really nice.
Really cool, yeah. So there was the opportunity to chat, but also to connect with a video.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I had video chat with more than 30
wow,
companies.
and as soon as you connected with them, they actually received your CV, so it was like on their screen instantly.
Exactly.
So this is quite amazing, and then they get the chance to keep it, which avoids any opportunity for them to lose it when they go back home. So a real advantage of having that online event. Great. But you'd already, of course, found your internship.
But yeah, I've already found an internship. But I am very hopeful that in the coming week, I might get some more responses from the companies I've visited, I've met online during the Glion Connect. So I am hoping to get more options so that I can finally decide which one to go for, or I can go for multiple options.
Or also just to network, because this is the very important element about the event, is also connecting. This is why it's called Connect and Recruit, because there's that networking element which is so important today and so important for all our students and the companies, because they obviously are looking for their future leaders. They need to be, and they want to be connecting with the very best talents possible. So I think we should look at a few opportunities per sector of our different programs. So in the hospitality sector, we see we have some of the top companies here, and these are actual positions that our master students have obtained over the past few years. So they're working in all sectors of hospitality, including events, including sales and marketing, including human resources. So not just our traditional rooms and F&B. They have access to many different sectors. And again, this will depend on the student and their individual goals. And this is one of the functions of our department, is to analyze with each student what their previous competencies are, what their current competencies are, where they want to go, what their goals are. So in accordance with what they find out about themselves through discussion with our department, they will obviously try and explore those different options for their internship or their job. Luxury retail, again, some of the very top companies here on our list, and some very interesting sounding positions in client experience, brand ambassador, merchandising, again, human resources, and also product management. So some very varied and exciting opportunities available to students in luxury retail. One of the things that's very important to point out is that for our master students, they are doing their internship in the final semester, but this can also be a job. So they have the opportunity to take either an internship or a job opportunity, the first 6 months of which will be counted as their internship. So yeah, so a lot of flexibility for those master students. And also, as the internship takes place at the end of the program, in many cases, the student can continue as a job. And I think one of those is, an example we have, is on this list of luxury retail, our human resources coordinator. We remember the student from a couple of years ago. She joined Richemont as an internship in human resources, and she is still there now, which is very good. And one more very interesting factor is she attended our event on Monday, and maybe you even spoke with her.
I didn't get the opportunity to talk to her because it was one of the most coveted
It was a very popular booth. It was a very, very popular booth. Okay, let's move ahead and look at our innovation, so the actual masters that you are doing. Again, mainly in startups, which is obviously corresponds to the things you're learning and the areas that our students wish to go into. So market analysis, project coordinator, digital marketing, very important, of course, self-starters. A lot of our students in this sector are planning to open their own businesses. Is that something that maybe will interest you in the future?
Yes, obviously. My main ultimate goal for choosing the current program, that is hospitality, entrepreneurship, and innovation, is to have my own venture 5 year, 10 years down the line. And so that's the reason I am very interested in working in a startup.
In a startup?
Yeah, because I'll get to learn about it. And actually, my professor actually offered, if he's really interested in my idea and it has its applicability in the European market, he might become a co-founder with me.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you've already got a future profiling ahead of you. That's
Yes.
fantastic. And this is perhaps one of the reasons that maybe our viewers don't recognize all the names that we have down here. They're not the big names that we had in the on the other master programs, because they're mainly startups, and these are the companies that are very interesting for our students to join in order to learn the skills and what they're going to need if they wanted to take on their own startups. And finally, looking at our finance, I think we've already heard that one of our students this year was offered a position with CBRE during his internship, and I believe he's already started, which is great. And again, we have other companies of a similar nature: Cushman & Wakefield, JP Morgan, and as well as hospitality companies, Accor, IHG. And these students are going into fields such as investment analysis, research, valuation, credit analysis, etc. So some very interesting jobs for all our students, and very varied, not all typically related to usual hospitality sector. So given the combination of these this professional internship that our students are taking, and the very detailed and varied programs that they are doing, we are very proud to say that our employability rate is at 98%, which means that 98% of all job-seeking students are actually having one or more employment opportunities open to them or offered to them when they graduate, which is a fantastic figure. This takes us nicely into some examples of our alumni. So where are our current recent alumni now? We have some here for each sector. So hospitality, luxury, innovation, and finance. So we are able to see that our students are actually currently working in these different sectors around the world in some very exciting companies and some very interesting, exciting positions. And finally, looking at our alumni on a more general nature, our global network consists of around 15,000 alumni, and these are based in over 160 countries, so around the world. It's very likely that when you're traveling, you will bump into Glion alumni wherever you happen to be on the planet, because they really are dispersed all over the globe, which is great and a true reflection of our international perspective in terms of our student body. Roughly half of them are working in hospitality, tourism, and related areas. The other half in fast-moving consumer goods, luxury goods, etc., in related areas. And half of them will be in large corporate offices and big corporate offices and corporate chains, whereas 86% are probably going to become managers within 5 years of graduating, which I think is also a great indication of the success of our programs and the employability of our students. So this is the general distribution around the world of our alumni, a great majority in Western Europe, but also a large proportion in Asia, North America, the Americas, and the Middle East as well. Thank you for your attention and for listening. I hope you've enjoyed our presentation with Deepti, and I'd like to introduce you now to my colleague, Ms. Dominique Robassa, who's going to talk about life at Glion. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Dominique Corbassa and I'm responsible for the student affairs here on the Glion Campus. The student affairs takes care of everything outside of classes, everything related to the student life on campus, starting with the integration of the students, and we're also here to help them develop their leadership skills through various programs that we offer. We also take care of their well-being and everything related to their entertainment. And today we've got Lauriane. Welcome back, Lauriane, who's going to share with you today her experience of the student life.
So the Student Affairs is responsible for organizing a few excursions and other activities on and off campus during the week and the weekends. So we have, for example, excursions regarding culture, so would be visits or, for example, the organization of a MasterChef competition in the campus. Students go into the kitchen and confection some dishes, and then the chefs are responsible for judging them. So that's a very fun competition to participate in. Then we also have, depending on the season, some activities. So for example, we have ski excursions during the winter, and for the summer it would be other excursion adapted to the weather. We also have, for the most adventurous of you, some other excursions, for example, to Europa Park. We also have paraglidings and many other activities. And we also have other excursions to the mountains, for example, to Zermatt. So we have many sports facilities and activities facilities on campus. So we have, for example, the gyms, which is on campus, on Glion Campus, and external to the campus in Bulle. In Bulle, there is 2 gyms. They are operated by Let's Go Fitness, and they are both 10 minutes walking distance to the campus. We also have tennis courts and other activities in and off campus. For example, we have yoga activities, we have boxing, etc. We also have the teams on campus. So we have the football team, the rugby team. They are organized once a week and they are operated by Student Affairs, but students participated in, and there are external coaches coming to the campus to monitor them. If you are interested on any other activity that is not already offered by Student Affairs, you just have to talk to them and they will support you in this activity.
The Glion Ambassador Program, this is a program where the Student Affairs actually select the students. They have to send a motivation letter, their CV, and then they go through an interview process. And then when they become an ambassador, their responsibility is to represent the school internally and externally. They'll also be responsible to enhance the student life on campus. And they'll also have the possibility to develop their leadership skills through various projects or activities that they have to achieve while being ambassadors.
Now let me present the Student Government Association. They are responsible for the life on campus as well, and they monitor all the rest of the committees. So in Glion, we have 9 committees. So for example, the Graduation Committee, which is responsible for organizing the graduation gala. So they organize party through the semester for students, collect money, and then put the money in the organization of the gala. We also have the Green Committee, for example, for which I was the president last semester, which really work on sustainability on campus and how to make Glion a more sustainable place in their everyday practices. We also have the Culinary Committee, for example, which organizes many events on campus regarding food. So last semester we had Lebanese night, for example, and many other themed dinners. If you're interested in knowing more about student life on campus, I invite you to follow Glion Hospitality School on Instagram. We post regularly, so you could have an update on what's going on campus and what's next.
Thank you, Lauriane. Last but not least, our priority is the well-being of the students. On the health side, we've got some health advisors that are available on both campuses. We've also got security, who's available 7 days, 24 hours. And also because nearly all of our students do live on campus, for us it's really important that they feel integrated and part of the Glion community, the Glion spirit. Therefore, the policy of the school is open door, which means we get to know the students very well and we get to build a close relationship with them. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. And now it's time for your questions. If you have any, kindly put them in the chat and my colleagues are going to be answering any of your questions. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Jozenko, Lauriane, I do have a few questions for you. Dr. Jozenko, can you tell us, can a student apply to a master program without any professional experience?
Yes, definitively. So thanks, Ruben, for this first question. So basically, we got two profiles that apply to our MSc. We got young graduates that get a bachelor, do not need to have any professional experience, and they want, in fact, to venture in a highly high demand sector and to choose one of our specialized master. And we can have also some people that basically could be professional and want to change in terms of industry. So to answer back to your question, no, you don't need to have a specific professional experience. What is important is that you have the passion and that you want to specialize in one specific sector. Could be the hospitality and related service industry, or could be the luxury that you might want to start your own business, or you might want to work in real estate investment.
Thank you very much. Lauriane, a question for you. Can you tell us more about the professional image on campus? What are the rules for students? How are they supposed to dress on campus?
Of course, so the professional image is really important in Glion because it's the first impression that you are going to give to people around you, and especially to recruiters or your future company, for example. So it's really important that all of the students and the staff are dressed very professionally. We have a specific rules for that, so you will be finding them on our website. Also, it's really important for your state of mind. When you wake up and you wear your professional attire, then you're directly in the state of mind, a professional state of mind, and in my opinion, you're gonna work better and excel.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
How many classes do a master students have per week, and what's a typical schedule for a student?
So in fact, we get two types of, let's say, teaching delivery. So we got for the international hospitality business, typically it's traditional 15 weeks of course delivery. And so students will usually have, let's say, 7 courses per week, 2 sessions per course. So it means about 24 hours a week. With respect to the luxury entrepreneurship and real estate MSc program, it's a bit different because here the delivery mode is what we call block teaching, meaning 1 week is equal to 1 course. So in this case, students will have 15 hours of course per week. So usually 3 days of course, and in between, usually they are working in group for preparing their challenge at the end of the year.
Thank you. Lauriane, can you tell us how is life on campus? What about student life, and what's a typical day for you?
Of course, a typical day for me is I wake up, then I go on campus, I meet my friends, I take my breakfast with them, then we have the first class. Then during breaks, we just hang around the buildings, or we have a coffee, then we go back to class. For lunch break, I have my lunch with my friends as well. It's a nice moment to just hang out and speak about our projects, for example. Then we have the class in the afternoons, and then when you have longer break, it's the ideal moment to work on your group project, for example, which is very present in all programs in Glion. We work a lot in group. And then usually in the nights, if you are part of a committee or the ambassador program, for example, I usually meet up with the other ambassadors or the other committee members working on your project. We also really like to go for drinks. So for example, in Bull, in the night after dinner, we all go to Le Moderne, or in Glion, we like to go to the Bellevue Bar for a nice moment together.
Great. Now I have a question about the way of teaching in Glion. What is the pedagogy here?
Okay, so one feature and one main characteristic of Glion is we are an applied school. So what is very important for us is always this balance between academic rigor and apply learning. So students will, in MSc, they will work a lot independently and they will work in groups. So typically, courses will rely a lot on case studies, where they will be able to apply, in fact, what they are learning. We rely a lot on group works, which is very important, is that students, in fact, interact. As you're aware, in fact, in Glion, we get so much different nationalities, and it's a plus, in fact, to learn how to work, because this is what our students will be confronted in their future career. So we got group work, we got projects. So it's both independent learning, and it's very applied. And this is done under the supervision of our senior faculty. And we have also a lot of external visiting lecturers, which are industry experts. So to summarize, apply.
Good. Lauriane, talking about accommodations, can you tell me more about the Glion and the Bull campuses? How are the accommodations on campus? Where are they located? Are they next to the main buildings or somewhere else in the city?
Of course. So in Bull, as in Glion, there is two kinds of accommodation. So there is the accommodation that are very close from campus, that are actually on campus. So basically, you don't really need to walk a lot to go to class. It's ideal for people who like the calm of the studies. And then we also have accommodation a bit further, 10 minutes walking distance to the campus. It's ideal for people who will need to disconnect a bit from the hectic campus life. And on all accommodation, there is nice places to meet up, and there is single and double rooms.
Thank you.
I would like also to precise that for master students, it's not mandatory to live on campus. So if you'd like, you can definitely take an apartment in the city you will be studying in.
Thank you, Lauriane. And what about the London campus?
So on London campus, as you know, we got a partnership with Roundtom University. So students have either the possibility to live on campus using rooms which are provided by Roundtom, or they have the possibility, in fact, to live outside the campus, and we have a list, in fact, of providers.
Thank you. Lauriane, one last question for you. Why did you choose to study at Glion?
Why Glion? The third, it's ranked as one of the 3 best hospitality schools in the world, which was a high criteria for me. Definitely the quality of the academic content delivered to students as well. It's very high level. Teachers are very dedicated to their students. They're also very accessible. So if you have any question, any struggle with your assignment, they're always here. And they really, really are at our disposal for any question that we may have. Also, definitely for the multicultural environment we all live in. I got to meet people from all over the world, and now I have friends everywhere. So basically, if I need holidays, I know where I can go. No, it's always interesting, and also it helps you to be more open-minded every day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lauriane, for your help today. Thank you for your help, for your presentation, and on all your answers. Should you have any further questions, please feel free to connect with us on social media, Instagram or Facebook, and visit our website. And now, let me take you around on our Glion campus. As well as showing you the Glion facilities, the short video you're going to watch gives a full overview of our master programs. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you.
Welcome to Glion. My name is Ruben, and I'm pleased to show you our campus today. Glion Campus is both our flagship and practical learning center. On this campus, we welcome about 350 students, including our bachelor students during their first semester, which is a practical art semester, and some of our master students. In this boutique hotel environment, our students experience the most sophisticated elements of hospitality and fine dining, as well as our unique Glion spirit. Please follow me. On Glion Campus, you will find 16 classrooms and 4 food and beverage outlets run by students. Before they start their program, our master students can do our optional hospitality immersion program. During 4 weeks, they have the opportunity to gain initial insight into the hospitality industry and its respective departments, including the kitchen, the food and beverage service, the housekeeping, and the front office. Now we are in the Bellevue, the historical place in Glion. Here, in 1962, the Glion Institute of Higher Education was founded in the former Hotel Bellevue. Today, the Bellevue is a fine dining restaurant renowned in Switzerland. To learn more about our master's programs, let me introduce you Dr. Emmanuel Jorzenko, Director of Graduate Studies. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hello, Ruben.
Emmanuel, I have a few questions for you. First of all, can you tell us which master's programs do we propose at Glion Institute of Higher Education, please?
Yes, so at Glion we get a portfolio of 4 different Master of Science. So we get the International Hospitality Business Master, which is delivered both on our Bull Swiss campus and our London campus. Second master program we got is Luxury Management and Guest Experience, which is actually delivered on our Swiss Glion campus. Third master program is Hospitality Entrepreneurship and Innovation, which is also based on our Swiss Glion campus. And last but not least, we get our Real Estate, Finance and Hotel Development master program, which is actually delivered on our London campus.
Okay, and all of these programs include a field trip.
Yeah, so the field trip is an important component of this academic journey. For all the MACs, you get 1 field trip, and this is an occasion for the students basically to meet international groups, to meet professionals, and it's important because this is a way for them to validate, in fact, all the academic tools that they learn with respect to the first academic year of studies.
What kind of profile can apply for a master program at Glion?
So typically you get 2 kind of profile. So you have students that have done a bachelor in hospitality or young professionals in the hospitality sector, and what they want by applying and following those MSCs, they want to specialize, they want to develop their career, right? And you got a second type of students which are coming from business school, engineering school of completely different industry, and they want to venture in the hospitality or service industries, for instance, and I would say those are career switchers. So basically career developers and career switchers are the 2 profiles. Diversity is one very important component. You got diversity in the class in terms of profile, in terms of nationalities, in terms of experience, and this is a very, very important component of our programs.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for your time.
Thank you, Ruben.
Now we have a better overview of our master's program. Let's meet with Mrs. Jacqueline Lutz, Head of Career and Internship Department. Hello, Jacqueline.
Hi, Ruben.
Jacqueline, can you tell us what are the benefits of a master's degree in today's job market?
Today's job market is very competitive. I think that having a master's degree gives candidates a huge advantage when they're applying for positions.
And what does our Career and Internship Department do to support them when looking for an internship or for a job?
So the Career and Internship Department is very active with our master's students. We have one of our advisors who is particularly dedicated to taking care of these students. She knows a lot about them. She does a lot of research with them and a lot of individual attention. We also have a Career and Internship portal, which is a dedicated platform for our students where all our employers are registered, and all the students have their CV and access to the offers and the contacts of our employers. This makes it very easy for the students to connect with employers, and it also makes it quite simple for employers to come in and do a search for the students that they're particularly interested in.
Sure, and what about the recruitment day?
So Recruitment Day is an amazing opportunity both for students and for recruiters. It's a day where a lot of networking is done, a lot of discussion, interviews, and a lot of job offers are given. And I would say that it's a huge opportunity to really find what's suitable for them and their future positions.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Jacqueline.
You're very welcome, Ruben.
Now it's time to visit the accommodations. Let's go. Glion Campus has 6 accommodation buildings. They are located next to the main campus or 5 minutes walk further up in the local village. On Glion Campus you will find different room settings, including single and double rooms. Last but not least, some of our rooms offer a breathtaking view on the Lake Geneva, but be aware that they are assigned on a first-come, first-served basis. Welcome to the club, our free-floor restaurant. This place is dedicated to students and faculty only. Here, our students are allowed to be in casual dress code. This is the place to be if you want to have fun on Glion Campus or grab a drink with your friends on the panoramic terrace. Talking about student life on campus, let me introduce you Mrs. Dominique Raubasser, our Student Affairs Manager.
Thank you, Ruben. So the student life starts with the integration of the students. It's really important that students feel integrated and part of the Glion family and part of the Glion spirit. And this starts upon their arrival on campus through various activities such as team building, icebreaker, excursions, and many more. Part of the student life is for them also to develop their leadership skills, and this can be done through the Glion Ambassador Program. The Glion Ambassador Program is a program where students get selected by us and will have the responsibility to represent the school as well as enhancing the student life on campus. We also have the Student Government Association, who is responsible for the students' governance and their committees, such as the Wine Committee, the Art Committee, the Networking Committee, the Charity Committee. We also encourage our students to keep themselves healthy, and therefore they have access to the fitness centre as well as our gymnasium. We've also got an Olympic swimming pool and clubs that they can join, such as rugby, soccer, badminton, tennis, yoga, boxing as well, and many more. And what the best way to get to know your fellow students? By joining our excursion.
Finally, let me show you The Fresh, our concept restaurant inaugurated 2 years ago. Open to the public, The Fresh provides healthy food for a positive and active lifestyle, with locally sourced ingredients, amazing views, and a gold standard service. I hope you enjoy the tour, and I really look forward to seeing you soon on Glion Campus. The Glion family is waiting for you.